Hi, students. How are you doing? Welcome to Seminar. I hope you are good. I don't know why Republicans, some people, Latinos, all these Latinos for Trump, that probably some of them married white men. And for that reason, nobody will hear a word for them because they know everything about politics and they support this man with all their might and all their strength. One thing I'm going to ask is that it looks like you all do not even know what it's going on because majority of them don't understand what it's going on. And some of the things that the administration, well, some of the things they are doing, they don't understand the implications and how it is affecting you people as citizens of United States. Tell me how he is destroying some part of White House. And he is the one telling farmers that there is no money to support them. But he has also gone to Argentina to splash money. This is what we call being good outside, but you are not good inside the house. Why? Because you only help outsiders. People in your own people that should come first are not coming first. A lot of all these people, excuse me, a lot of all these people he is running to have universal basic health care, but you do not have. He is using your tax money to do whatever he likes. And also he decided to sue Americans for $230 million. Man, I don't even know where to start from, but I am sure this is not what people that voted for him wanted to see, but they don't have choice. This is what you got now. Let's get into this video.
You see what they did to the White House? How could anybody stand behind this? How could anybody just be silent?
Sounds like they're building another wing to the White House, but we appreciate you keeping your focus.
You can't even imagine, TJ. It's going to happen for the next 2 years. All the banging, the jackhammering, the dust, the confusion, the noise of all places to do construction is happening right here, the front lawn of the White House. It's a 4-year renovation project. Estimated cost, $376 million.
Wait, you're kidding me. Obama did renovations to the White House and made taxpayers pay that much money? That's crazy. In 2010, and not one of you said a word? Not one of you? And now you're upset even though our tax dollars aren't paying for renovations and they tore down like a carport and some offices. It wasn't even actually the White House. And not a penny of it comes out of our own pockets, out of our tax dollars. Now you're upset? Interesting.
You can't make this up. You just can't make it up. What is it with this crypt-keeping, hued, makeup-wearing, yogurt Yeti escapees from the Caucasus Mountains by way of my family tree as a reef, and I am a hybrid snow roach, snow rat. Yeah. Shell Patriot said she would go first. And obviously, the gaslighting has moved to a new level because she played a clip of a full interview to try to prove her point from 2010. Like most of us that see this clip were not alive in 2010. So instead of going on ad hominem rants because that's all they're going to understand, I'm going to do you one better. I'm going to play the full clip from 2010 that shows you that what President Obama did and how much it is different from the destruction of the East Wing, which she's calling a couple of carports. Yeah, let's get it.
Sounds like they're building another wing to the White House, but we appreciate you keeping your focus.
You can't even imagine, TJ. It's going to happen for the next 2 years. All of the banging, the jackhammering, the dust, the confusion, the noise of all places to do construction is happening right here, the front lawn of the White House.
It's a 4-year renovation project. Estimated cost, $376 million. The basic problem, pipes up to 100 years old, which are running into the White House, causing disastrous and dangerous conditions.
This part of the White House hasn't been upgraded since some of it was built in 1902 and then upgraded some parts of it in 1934. We have electrical lines, water lines that haven't been upgraded since, and basically we're digging underground to fix them up.
So tell me about the problems that the White House has had. It's hard to believe that, yes, sometimes the lights go out at the White House, sometimes pipes have leaked. Have there really been those kinds of problems here?
There have been electrical outages at the White House. Telephones have gone down.
And what happens? Does the president call and say, my toilet's not flushing, the lights just went out?
So the residence itself, we haven't had those kinds of issues, but the West Wing, where the president does his business, has had those issues.
Bob Peck of the General Services Administration is overseeing the massive makeover of the East and West Wings, which include the Oval Office, the Situation Room, and the offices of the Secret Service and First Lady.
So tell us what's actually happening here.
Well, we're digging trenches, burying new cable, burying new water pipes.
Congress approved funding of the project in 2008 after a Bush administration report revealed some systems in the White House were periodically failing.
This project is going to cost some $376 million to the taxpayers. Some would say, really? Why would you spend that kind of money simply on a makeover for the White House when there's so many folks who are not doing well?
And we're aware it's underground work. But, it doesn't do a whole lot of good to have a building that's sort of the image of the free world standing up there and not functioning well. And to be honest, when you're digging underground and doing this kind of utility work, particularly in a White House environment, it's a costly project.
500 workers have security clearance to work on the 4-acre project.
In the briefing room, things have been known to get pretty boisterous and heated, but it is nothing compared to the noise right outside in this construction zone.
And it's right outside the Obama family residence.
Have you ever gotten a call and said, look, you know what? This is too much noise. We're trying to sleep here. We're trying to think.
Well, we have a very understanding first family, but we have a first family with some young kids who need to get their sleep.
So construction is normally limited to daylight hours. But despite the open nature of the project, it still attracts some suspicion.
There are lots of conspiracies. They're saying,
Right.
come on, could this really be electrical? Is this really phones? Or is it a secret tunnel that they're digging?
Yeah, all I'll tell you is you can imagine it is a very secure infrastructure project. That's as much as I can say.
This construction project also impacts how we do our job. I don't take just 1, 2, but 3 steps to clear this 8-foot fence behind me so you can see the White House when we do our...
You can't make this up. You cannot make this up if you try. But it never fails. Some crypt-keeping hued maggot will try it. A project that was approved in 2008 because President Bush said that the White House was having infrastructure problems concerning plumbing and electrical use. And somehow you all equated that to what is happening now with the destruction, the demolition of the East Wing of the White House. Not any just carports, but I know facts don't matter to you all. With upkeep. And then you make a big show talking about it's being paid for by donations. This is the people's house, not Donald Trump's house. And the donations are expecting something in return for their investments. Yeah, you can't make this up. I can't believe you all cap for millionaires and billionaires and your makeup looks like that. Y'all have the day you deserve.
They're actively tearing down part of the White House and you guys are still supporting him. President, tear down White House. White House historical monument.
I thought you guys didn't like our first lady. Now you care about her offices being torn down? Yeah, you're upset about offices that are for the first lady, and that East Wing was built in 1942. That's not an original part of the White House. This is rich coming from the people that tore down 160 historical monuments. Did you forget about that? That was in like 2020. You guys went around tearing down all those historical statues. Now you care about historical sites? Interesting. Those of us with common sense know that you guys just have absolutely nothing else to complain about. So this is your new mission. This is your manufactured outrage. Be so effing for real. If you cared so much about historical monuments, you would have cared about those 160 statues.
It is official. Donald Trump has now commenced the tearing down of the East Wing in the White House to make room for his ballroom. Let me just disabuse you Republicans of something really quick because I've been seeing it all day. Past presidents, whether it's Theodore Roosevelt, Dwight D. Eisenhower, and the list goes on, who wanted to make massive renovations to the White House, got congressional approval. You want to know if Donald Trump does? He doesn't. Not an iota of congressional approval to make these types of renovations. Furthermore, Dwight D. Eisenhower made massive renovations on the White House to prevent its collapse. The structural integrity of the White House was compromised, and it had to be done to preserve it. Another major difference. This silly, goofy ballroom that Donald Trump is building really for himself could have been built somewhere else. That is the cold, deep, dark, dangerous truth. So before you guys try to make some equivalency to past presidents, understand the facts. Everything that this president touches, he ruins. And it's all to give glory to himself. This is wrong on so many levels, and I just want to make this clear. Donald Trump does not have congressional approval for this.
The entire east wing of the White House is currently destroyed. This comes after Trump said he wouldn't touch the White House building his new $300 million ballroom, but that was a lie.
People were surprised that the entire east wing is being demolished because you had said initially that the ballroom would just touch or would not.
Well,
touch
certain
it.
areas
What
are being
happened?
certain areas are being left. We determined that after really a tremendous amount of study with some of the best architects in the world, we determined that really knocking it down, trying to use a little section, the story added on, which was not particularly nice. It was never thought of as being much. It was a very small building. This was something they've wanted for at least 150 years. In order to do it properly, we had to take down the existing structure.
Are we great yet? For all of you saying this is a renovation because all the presidents have done renovations, this is him destroying someone else's legacy to build a ballroom that's so grotesque it's bigger than the actual White House. A ballroom that's not needed because current state officials have been being held within the White House for state dinners for a century. Another day on Trump's America.
So while millions of Americans are struggling to pay rent during one of the longest government shutdowns in history, Donald Trump has decided his top priority is tearing apart the White House and building himself a ballroom. No, not a school, not a hospital, not a plan to fix housing or health care, a ballroom, which is a 90,000 square foot monument to vanity, nearly twice the size of the White House residence itself. Now, according to New York Times and ABC News, Trump has already begun demolishing the East Wing, the historic section that once housed the First Lady's office and the White House military office. The East Wing, part of America's heritage, is being gutted to make room for what he calls a modern addition. The cost? $250 million. The timing is right in the middle of a shutdown that he caused. So Trump and his donors claim that they are footing the bill. But preservation experts are furious. The White House hasn't even submitted full plans for federal review, which means the project violates the usual process required for changes to protected historic buildings. Former First Lady Hillary Clinton and the National Trust for Historic Preservation have demanded that the demolition stop until public review can happen. But Trump doesn't do review. He doesn't do accountability. He does whatever he wants and dares anyone to stop him. And the symbolism is chilling. Because while federal workers go unpaid and disabled students face losing education funding, Trump is bulldozing a piece of American history to build a ballroom for his elite donors and foreign guests. He calls it modernization, but what it really is a message that Trump is remaking the people's house into his house, a palace for a self-proclaimed king. When he said he was going to drain the swamp, he didn't mean corruption. He means replacing the swamp with a chandelier.
Trump will literally tell you all his plans. Like, this man will literally tell you what he's going to do in the future, and y'all will literally think he's playing. And then when he does it, y'all are some more hooting and hollering and talking about some, no. Like, people are shocked that he's tearing down parts of the White House to make the ballroom that he said he was going to put there. Oh my God, why is he doing all this? Like he's gonna stay here? Oh, bring the ding, ding, the ding, the ding, ding. He said, if you vote for me, you will never have to vote again. It's just like, I don't know if y'all think they're speaking in parables or whatever the case is. Oh my God. It's like every time we try to help, it's like, y'all disregard what we say, do what you want to do, put us in a deeper hole, and then ask us for, oh, please. If you all haven't noticed, we have our own problems. Even if Trump wasn't in office, black people would be getting killed every day, and y'all would just be living your lives regularly. I mean, that is the case, right? I just hate that all of this was avoidable. Like, all of this. What did Maya Angelou say? When a person shows you who they are, believe them. Like, hello?
I saw this picture of construction crews destroying parts of the east wing of the White House in order to begin the construction of Trump's ballroom. And I can't think of anything that better encapsulates the experience that we are having as a nation right now than the decision by Donald Trump to destroy a structure that has stood the test of time in order to make room for millionaires and billionaires to have a fancier place to eat dinner, while at the same time the government is shut down. People are not getting paid, while at the same time inflation is up. While at the same time, people are losing access to healthcare and watching their premiums skyrocket by hundreds of percentage points. While at the same time, groceries are through the roof. While at the same time, we have deeper political divisions, racial divisions than we have had in a very long time. While all of those actual issues are happening in this country, Donald Trump and his millionaire and billionaire donors have made the decision to destroy a part of the White House in order to build something opulent and tacky so that Trump can feel better about being insulated with his millionaire and billionaire friends when they have dinner, eating cake while the rest of us are digging for scraps as a byproduct of the cuts that were made in the tax system in order for those same millionaires and billionaires to pay less in taxes, while many of us, myself included, not only pay more, but have life become more expensive. Yeah, there's no picture that better encapsulates what is happening in this country right now than the destruction of the things that we hold dear in order to make millionaires and billionaires feel a little bit more comfortable. I'm one of those people who can hold in tension the history of greatness and atrocities of this country. I'm one of those folks who can hold dear the monuments of this country while at the same time recognizing what they have meant over time. And the White House is one of those places in particular that means something while also recognizing that people who look like me built it against their will. And when Barack Obama was in the White House, it meant more than I could ever put into words. And watching Donald Trump destroy in order to build a Trump ballroom on the East Wing feels like filling in a pool when integration happened. So yeah, that's the state of the country in one picture. And I just want to say as a reminder, we're in this together. Lean on your community, find joy as we fight fascism. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Hey man, did you see how Trump is destroying the White House?
Yeah, I know what you mean, man.
No, this is not an analogy.
What?
He actually demolished an entire wing.
Oh my God.
It's so that he can replace it with a 10-year-old Turkish prince's idea of what a ballroom is. You know, just like the people demanded. But really, I can't pretend to be shocked. When you are dealing with the tackiest man on the planet, you should only be surprised by what he doesn't do. Like, honestly, I'm surprised that the Lincoln bedroom hasn't been turned into a small assassination-themed casino at this point. Can you imagine what the reaction would have been if Obama had gone as far as, like, knocking over a lamp?
Oh, I can't imagine.
They would have shit a caribou. Jesse Waters would be on TV interviewing angry white bald men who had suddenly become lamp experts. Speaking of Jesse Waters, why does he have the same vibe as that one kid who said his dad worked at Nintendo?
We have it from latest sources that Pokemon Purple and Brown will be out this fall.
But yeah, just to recap, Trump is knocking down part of the White House, replacing it with a golden ballroom for billionaires, while in the meantime, farmers can't sell their crops, and a cantaloupe costs $9. And according to them, he is the anti-elitist candidate. Gives me a headache so bad I think my thoughts have turned into nails. The mascot for the Republican Party should just no longer be an elephant. It should be those oysters from that poem in Alice in Wonderland.
Very apt.
Walrus Carpenter 2028. That's the only ticket I need, man. Whatever it takes so that my gay neighbor is sad.
What a time to be alive.
I've never seen a more apt photo of what's going on in the United States, well, since Saturday when Donald Trump posted his now infamous AI image. But this is the White House today. This is the Trump administration dismantling the East Wing of the White House at Donald Trump's request. This is the donor-funded $200 to $250 million ballroom that Donald Trump wants going in, and they have to dismantle a portion of the White House to get it in. So there's many other photos out there. This is just the one I chose. And, well, Donald Trump dismantling the White House is very apt for what's going on with this administration. See, he's broken all social norms. He's broken all political norms. And the right will tell you, well, that's what we elected him for. But the truth of the matter is he's breaking democratic society as we know it. And he's cheering it, and his followers are cheering it. Donald Trump dismantling the White House, all for his own narcissistic tendencies and reasons, is something that will take years and decades to recover from, if ever.
From this video. Oh my goodness. This is what white people voted, including other people of color that said that they were going to, that voted for him, not that they were. They voted for him. This is what you voted for. And as you all can see, the fact that the farmers, I am not rooting for the farmers because this is, farmers voted for what they are getting. The fact that the farmers cannot get anything to support themselves. The fact that tariff is like overwhelmingly amazing these days because as it stands, some people can't even export and import because of the tariff rate. Depends on where you are. You are exporting or importing from. The fact that Medicare is now something that people are fighting for. But they are going out to give people more Argentina. And they said they were bringing in meat from Argentina. So what happened to the ones in the ranchers in the United States? You guys are not, the truth with some Republicans is that they are not educated. They don't know what is going on. They don't understand how bad the government is damaging the country, the economy, the currency also is, assistance is going, it's weakening. It has weakened to the extent that I don't want to go there, but yeah. American currency has weakened. It's very weak as it stands now. This is what you guys voted for. And I hope you guys are enjoying it. The money they will use in building whatever they will build right now would have been enough to support Medicaid, to keep it running. It would have been enough for SNAP benefits. You know, the truth is that as some people do not understand what it means to put you as a citizen first. But you are not being put first. Rather, they will use your tax money. It's not like you are not, you know, you are paying, you pay tax. You know what it means to work, you pay tax. A lot of tax, right? And your tax is being used for something that you do not sign for. But because you voted for him, you signed for it. So how great is America now? And I'm sure you guys are so proud. I am sure you guys may have seen your passport rank. US passport has, it is not like before when you type, you might see it first, second, third. But no. That is how bad it is. What he's good at is destroying. I will draw the curtain here. Bye for now.